Yeah. But usually there's a little bit of music playing over the first part of our talking, so you might be, you know, sort of in the clear. Not exactly. I mean, they definitely probably heard.
What's up, everybody? It's your Blerd girls, Bola, Triple F Queen B in the house, and
No tagline, Whit here.
And we are BlerdTalk with Bola and Whitney. Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
You guys, we're in the throes of summer and in the middle of my month of fun. Hashtag. We do need sound effects. We need sound effects. So all month we are just especially me. I'm having fun all week. Whitney, are you having fun?
I am having fun.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting? We're in sync right now because we both like off this week, and we didn't tell each other we were gonna like have this whole week off. And I'm like, yes. So I have been having fun doing stuff all week. Whitney had a birthday on the 11th. Yeah, and it was so much fun. We had like a boat party for her on the river, the James River. It was fire, y'all.
It was.
Yes, and
it was so much fun. It was a perfect day for it too.
It was just, I did not want to leave. Like when we were coming around, I was like, no, let us take another turn about the waters.
A turn about the waters.
Oh, really? You know how in the British shit, there's like, let's take a turn about the room. And I was like, I did not want to leave. I had like such a good time.
Same.
And I was like, oh man, it was so fun. Nice breeze. We were dancing, playing music, had our own food, had our own tunes. And you guys can see a TikTok I made on our official TikTok channel, BlerdTalk BW. So you guys can see all the shenanigans that the Blerd girls were up to. And I'm telling you, your girls were dancing. Whitney was dancing. The birthday girl was like, she was throwing it down, dropping it low, picking it back up, and not falling over. I get though. But it was fire. And all week I've been doing things every day. Like every day is like a theme for me. I've just been doing different stuff, whether it's going swimming, watching Little Mermaid again with my nieces. It's beautiful the second time around too. Doing game night where I played Singo, which was like a singing version of bingo, and it was really fun to just have a different mix up in there, you know what I mean? And then me and her are still having more fun tonight. We're going rooftop hopping, right, Whitney? Yeah, we're also doing food and movie day today, so you guys well, it's not today, while we're recording, but you'll hear this later. So we just got fun planned all week. I got more stuff, but y'all hear about it later. Anyway, what's up with you, Whitney?
You kind of jumped the gun. That was gonna be my Blerd Out was the boat ride.
Okay, well, we're not in Blerd Out yet. Yeah, we're not in Blerd Out section yet, so we're still gonna talk about it. But today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yay!
Yeah, so I hope you've seen it. If you haven't, spoiler alert. Just so you know. Just
all our episodes are full of spoilers, you guys.
Yeah, and I put the timestamp on there. So if you guys, the review timestamp, because we have other segments. So if you like haven't watched and you're listening and you're like, okay, let me pause it here. You know where we start up. Go watch the film and then come back. All right. So before we get into that, Whitney, do you want to do Blerd Out first?
Okay, sure.
All right, so we're going to do our Blerd Out segment. It's our usual segment where we just talk about different blerdy outy things we're interested in, things we're doing, new stuff, what have you, right?
That's right.
All right, so Whitney, go first.
Okay.
Wait. Blerd out. Blerd out. Blerd out. Blerd out. All right. Whitney, tell them what you're blerding out about today.
I'm blerding out about a few things, mainly centered around me having had my birthday this past weekend.
Oh, you're right.
So first up on Saturday, the day before my birthday, some friends and I had a pasta and paint, which was a lot of fun. We got
that sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah. We
food?
had like
Yes.
food, pasta-themed kind of food.
Is there more pasta?
Actually, there's a little bit of more pasta left.
That chick is hungry. It's okay.
We painted. We got some paint by numbers, and we painted. And your girl could not last. I was not the first one to break, but hour and 30 minutes in, This paint by number has some tiny pieces, and I just got to the point. Yes. I gave Bola some of the extras, and she was like, "Yeah, these are tiny spots right here." I
mean, it's like the tip of a brush. It's like one number's
right.
In there. I can't even tell what the number is. I was like, "Can't you just like do a broad brush stroke and just call this black?" You know?
And that's what happened to me. I got to a certain point, and I was like, "Ain't nobody got time for this," and I just started freehanded. I was done. I'm like, I'm gonna look at this reference picture and just paint myself because I can't do these little tiny spots of paint.
I love that. Anymore. She just like, I'm gonna take the reference picture and I'm gonna just go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
exactly,
and make my masterpiece.
That's right.
Right.
Because otherwise, this is like a multi-day painting if you're trying to do these little numbers. Second thing, blurting out. We've already touched on it, but the what is it? C-Suite cruises, the Paddle Club RVA.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's do a joint one on that.
Yes, it was so fun. Like at first, it was supposed to be like or I was under the impression it was a joint birthday thing. But then I got on the boat, and I was like, "Gotcha! This is actually your birthday celebration."
Yeah, I got her going. Yeah, because I was like, as I had said, like we had been friends for so long, but usually Whitney does stuff with her family or something. I don't know. I just never remember. I know we've known each other for like over 15 years, and I was like, I don't have any memory of celebrating your birthday at all. But you constantly come to my stuff, and I was like, I got on her about it because I felt like I want to celebrate your birthday with you too. So even though I had told her that it was like a joint June thing, I really like surreptitiously. I went behind her and told everybody like, no, this is Whitney's birthday thing. So I made people buy cake, and I made someone, well, not made, I asked them to buy cake, and I asked someone to get a little birthday crown, and we just turned it into Whitney's birthday celebration.
It was so nice. It was such a nice surprise. And it was super fun. Like, it was a covered boat, so you're not going to fry in the sun unless you decide to, they had extra seating near the back of the boat. And it's like, if you don't want to sit on these, because the seats were like bike seats, and them things were so hard. My buns.
That is my only con about this thing, because I highly recommend everyone do this because it's quick. It's not. It's really fun.
Yep.
It's a great activity. I don't know if I would do the nighttime because of the bugs, but in the daytime, I think you're gonna be good.
Oh, they said that there are more bugs at night?
Because of the lights they have to put on the boat.
Oh, okay,
so,
okay.
Mosquitoes and all that stuff, they're all attracted to the...
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do a night one personally. But they have two different boats. One is the tiki one where you can do a shared party. So their seats are rounder, and then they have like the cushiony seats because they can fit more people on their boat. And they basically can do like a big joint party where two different parties or more can all... Basically, if you buy a ticket, you can just be on there. Even if you don't know folks, you can just be like, I just want to be on there.
Right.
You could do that. But the one we went on, which was the Paddle Club one, it's a paddle group boat. So it had like a bunch of bicycle seats where you can paddle, and the bicycle seats are not comfortable to sit on for very long.
No.
So that was my
Digging
only
all
like negative.
Up in your gluteus maximus.
Right. That was my only negative. But other than that, it wasn't a big deal to me. You can just get up, move around, sit on the little bench thing.
Note to you guys, you don't have to paddle. It's a paddle boat, but they have an engine, so if you don't want to paddle, you don't have to.
And it's a gas engine, so no candles shall be brought. Yeah, I was mad because I really want to do the candles, but they're like, no, we have a gas engine. Any flame, anything, we're all fried. And I'm like, let's not die having a birthday.
Right.
Let's not be like, gender reveal parties. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
What?
Some gender reveal parties, some people have caused accidents. There's been death.
Oh.
There's been fires started because people are doing too much at these gender reveal parties.
Oh, okay.
But I said, let us not take a simple fun thing and turn it into something tragic. Let's not get tragic.
Yeah, but it was super. It was like, God was smiling down.
Yes, he was.
Because the weather was,
It was beautiful, picturesque.
It was. It wasn't like overly hot. It was like, and we had nice breezes for most of the time. It was just so nice. It was a perfect day to be out there. It really was.
Although I don't recommend doing the electric slide at the tip of the boat where you're dipping and then the boat is moving at the same time, because you will get dizzy. That's what happened to me and Matt. Matt both went, whoop.
Yeah, there's a part where you do like the kick step or the flip, and then you're like, over
the
kicked.
boat like kind of moved. It was the wind. The wind had come in, and then we were dipping, and the boat was moving at the same time.
The boat thought it was the Tootsie Roll. They were like, dip, baby, dip.
Hilarious, Whitney. That was funny. So yeah, don't do that. But it is a great activity. This one is not very expensive per person. And if you get at least 8 people, you can have a whole private boat to yourself.
Yes.
And you and your friends. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm listening to music I don't want to listen to because this other party is doing this. Or,
right, yeah.
Yeah, because that was the only other issue with going with the Tiki one.
Oh, another note for that. You don't have to have 8 people, but you're going to pay the price of 8 people.
That's true.
So just FYI on that. If you don't have 8 people, you can still do it, but you still have to pay the price for having at least 8 people.
So we're just going to shout out to Sea Sweet Cruises. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
Fun.
So much fun.
I was like, I got to find a way to come back.
Yeah, it was. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was. So that is my second Blerd Out. My third Blerd Out is just as part of my week off from work. Monday I went to Williamsburg with my mom to the outlets. So I actually started a Pandora bracelet for myself.
Wow, nice.
I don't have it on. I'll show you later, Bola G. But I was actually really happy. At first I was going to wait, but then I was like, oh, this is really pretty. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start myself a Pandora bracelet.
Awesome. Now, what do you mean by start?
So Pandora bracelets, you can get like the little chain, but then they have like, the different charms. So you can add however many charms until, your bracelet fills up. So, the base bracelet, is like 70, well, depending on which one you get, like $75 or something like that. And the bracelet itself is actually really pretty just on its own, like with the clasp I have on there. It's so pretty.
Can you pick your own
charms? Yeah, that's the point. You're like, each person's bracelet is unique because you pick which charms, or people might, like if they ask you what you want for a gift, you might say you want a Pandora charm. So you can put different types of charms on your bracelet. So like when my mom's birthday was last month, I ended up getting her a Pandora charm for her bracelet.
Oh, awesome.
And it was actually a little Dory from Finding Nemo. Because my mom calls me Dory.
Wait, why are you giving that to your mom if you're the Dory?
Because it's for her. It reminds her of who gave it to her. And it's like representative of her daughter. So, on the bracelet, she did have like a little tree of life, but the tree came off. So like you have different things. So like if you're into Broadway, there might be like a Broadway themed charm that can be on there. Just different things like that might represent like your interest or something like that.
Really? Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have to go there and you can show me. I want to get
a there's actually one at Stony Point.
Well, are you sure? I've been to Stony Point,
It's her. That's where I got hers from.
Oh, I thought you guys did it in Williamsburg.
No, yeah. I got mine from Williamsburg when we were there at the outlets, because there's one in the outlets that we go to. But the closest one to where we are is actually at Stony Point. Yeah. So that's where I got her little Dory from. But that's just so she knows, to remind her of her daughter. It's representative of me.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. And they have like Disney ones. Well, obviously because of the Dory thing. And they have Marvel ones. I actually was going to get like a little Spider-Man one. But the one that I liked, it was like in a heart shape, but it had like Spider-Man's face in it. Oh, wow. But it was only for like the bangle type. I was like, oh, they should really make this as like a charm where you can hang it, because this one's so cool.
That sounds cool. I like that. Get a charm. Like people can give you a charm.
Yeah.
As a gift. Okay. Show me the website later. We'll peruse that.
We should. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So I have now started a Pandora journey.
All right.
But that was Monday. We went to the outlets and hang out. We had dinner at Sal's by Victor, this place in Williamsburg. Italian, delicious. I had their chicken marsala with mushrooms. So good. So good.
Girl, your girl loves mushrooms.
Oh, I love mushrooms too.
No, I mean, talking about you. Mushrooms are great, but you love mushrooms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do love mushrooms, y'all. But then the second day, so Tuesday, we went to see Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So that's what my third at this point, Blerd Out is about, Rise of the Beast. It was really good, actually. Okay. Bola's not really that much into Transformers. I always loved watching, I don't know if I so much watched the original Transformers cartoon so much, but when I watched it, was really into Beast Wars. So the fact that this was Transformers: Rise of the Beast, it's like, it's Optimus was like, this is so cool. And plus, you know, anytime somebody says it, I have to say the tune Transformers, robots in disguise.
More than meets the eyes.
But yeah, it was really good. I know.
Right.
Apparently, this was like the 9th Transformers film. I've only seen like the 1st and 2nd one. I haven't seen Bumblebee.
Are you sure?
That I read it somewhere that it said it was like the 9th one.
Can't be. Don't tell me they're doing like
not.
Fast
I
and
mean,
Furious.
they've made a number of them. Maybe the person was incorrect when they said 9, but there's been a number of Transformers, so maybe it's been like one of those things where they have not always been great. But apparently, Bumblebee is very good. I haven't seen Bumblebee.
No. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I read that Bumblebee was very good, and the article I guess I was reading was saying that Bumblebee was like a nice departure. They had more story going on, which made it a really good Transformers movies, because apparently the other ones had been going just explode. You know, Michael Bay, I guess. Explosions.
Exactly. And I get tired of that with action films. So it's like, I like action, but it's not my favorite genre because there are times to me that they sacrifice story and plot or characters for explosions and you know, just CGI effects and all that kind of stuff, which gets tiring, and sometimes it actually starts hurting my head. I remember like sometimes some action films, I'm just like I have to like turn my eyes away because like I'm tired of seeing all this crashing metal or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, if it's action, I gotta like check it first, because I'm like, if it's too much, I'm like, not for me. I like action where fighting and stuff. That's cool. But when there's like too much like exploding and metal things and like crashing of cars, I'm like, oh God.
I mean, I can do that. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not. I'm just like, okay, this is.
I don't like the overkill or the oversaturation of it.
Yeah,
like Expendables. I will never stop shitting on that film. It was a trash film, and I hated watching it. I'm mad you all made me watch it back in school. It was a waste of my time.
But like, I can do that stuff. But my preference.
The film was
always...
Expendables. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. But I of course, like my preference is always to be like, if it's going to be a great movie, instead of like, oh, you know, it was entertaining, then it's gonna it has to have either like really great plot or great characterization or both.
Right.
If it doesn't have either, then it's just like, oh well, you know, it was entertaining. It was there was a lot of explosions. Yeah, but this was really great. It had like, I really liked the storyline, the characterization. I actually teared up a couple times.
At a Transformer movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
During Rise of the Beast. So yeah, I do highly recommend Transformers Rise of the Beast, especially if you were like a Beast Wars fan. There was another series that they made after Beast Wars. I can't remember what the name of it was. It makes me want to go back and rewatch those though. I'll have to look and see if anything has it streaming. But it was just, I really liked it. It was awesome. And then I heard, just as a final kind of, not exactly a Blerd Out, but something of interest to me, like Google had like the trending thing was like the trending thing was like, when is season 2 of Wednesday coming out? Because apparently it said something about like a trailer dropping, but I cannot find this trailer, so I'm like, is this a fan made trailer?
It probably is, because I haven't seen. I just heard that it's coming out.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, so I don't think there's at least from what a very quick search. It was like a 5-minute search, so I haven't like looked. But I don't see like an official Netflix trailer for season 2 of Wednesday. So I was kind of bummed because I was like, they dropped a trailer? And then I was like, I don't see it. I see a trailer, but this is by somebody who is not Netflix. But that's it. That's my Blerd Outs.
All right. That's what Whitney's blerding out about. So I'm blerding out about my week of fun, as you guys heard at the top of the show. Just having like a bunch of stuff, because my birthday is coming up on the 19th. Yes, June 19th. So Juneteenth is my birthday. My birthday was there first. I mean, well, Juneteenth happened first, but it was my birthday first, and now it's a holiday all the time. Anyway, but for Juneteenth, I am going to go to the Fine Arts Museum, and they have like a new exhibit by Black artists called the Communication Village. So I'm very excited to take friends to go see that. Family decided to take me out to eat, so we'll do that too. But I've been kind of making like this whole week and doing things like my birthday too, like just having fun all month, really planning different things. Like we're going to the comedy show later, see Roy Wood Jr. later this month. I'm going to a fancy dinner. I'm going to go see Matt in a play, or at least some kind of performance thing he's doing. And I just been like we're going on a tour later tonight, a rooftop tour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing paint night. I'm just doing all sorts of stuff. So I'm just enjoying the month. So I'm just having my #month of fun. And it is nice. And I recommend everybody just go and do different things that you want to do. The boat thing was something I really want to do. So even though like there wasn't a lot of people at the Tang and Biscuits, it was still nice to just play the game and like play and listen to different music. Or some of the stuff I'm like, oh wow, that was the name of that song the whole time. I just thought it was this. You know, you didn't realize, oh, that's the name, or that's who sings that song. I just, you know, and then I realized I know like a lot of choruses, but I don't know how the song starts. And then you're like, I don't know this song, and then I'm like, wait, I know the song. Once the chorus drops,
let the beat drop.
Right. And so it's just like, I just recommend you guys do a lot of different things, have fun, enjoy, and like I'm having fun for my birthday month. Whoop. I'm not going anywhere, do anything like crazy, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm planning on enjoying this month. And I'll add more stuff if something comes up. You know what I mean? All right. The other two things I'm blerding out about, because Whitney already talked about the cruise. That was my other one. But the other two things I'm talking about, I'm blerding out about, are just 3 shows, and I'm not going to go into them because we have another segment coming up. I don't want to take up too much time. But one, I finished Ted Lasso, and it was absolutely amazing.
I've started
wonderful.
it. I haven't finished it. Ooh, that's good to know.
Beautiful. Yeah, we'll chat afterwards because I really, really loved it, and it wasn't even bittersweet. Well, it kind of was, but I just like a show that ends well. Yeah. That you want more, but it still ends where you're like satisfied. As opposed to be like, God, let it end. Or to be like, this is how it ends. I hate those two options. Gotcha. I like how Ted Lasso ended. And it's just a fantastic show. And I'm not going to lie to you. This show made me want to watch soccer now. I think I'm going to watch real games. And like, because I've never been interested in soccer before. Yeah. My family, everybody else is, because Nigerians and people in other countries are really big into football. But me, I was just like, sports, I don't really care. If it's not swimming or gymnastics or something from the Olympics, I'm like, basketball's okay, but I still am not a big like sports watcher. Gotcha. But I'm like, I really got into soccer like so bad because of this, and I'm like, I want to watch some soccer games for real. So I'm excited about it, like getting into that. I'm having my cousin tell me what games to watch and stuff. My other 2 shows that are unfinished, but they are happening right now. So funny enough, Netflix's this one show is not Netflix original, but it's now on Netflix. So Manifest, which I've been watching since it started, it released its part 2, season 4, part 2, which is the second half of the show, the last 10 episodes. So I've been excited to go through that. I've been watching it. I was watching it earlier today, and I was like, damn, I have to leave. And every time this week, I just like been catching it on my like breaks or waking up in the morning, watching it, and then doing stuff when I have things to do for the day. So I just really can't wait to get into it. But y'all, Manifest, the ending is coming. It's coming. It's starting off really good already. So I'm just like very excited. The only issue is that I've been dividing my time between that and then a second show that I love that is also ending, but this is a Netflix original. It is Never Have I Ever with Devi Ramakrishna. Yes, and season 4, and I love this show so hard. Like, I know it's a teen drama, and I usually don't watch any of those anymore, but ever since her show came out, I was just like, no, this is different. It is fire. It hits different, and it's really good. So I was like, took a break from Manifest. I started watching Davey, and then I was like, wait a minute, I need to finish Manifest, and then because the internet's trying to ruin things for me. Stop it. So I was like, I need to finish these and not go online. So I can't watch all the funny videos of the cast or the wrap-up videos because I always watch those. So Manifest and Never Have I Ever, I'm just like, yes, I can't wait to finish both of them and then really just be like, oh, my shows are over. Yeah, so those are my blerd outs, right?
Awesome.
Okay,
I actually started watching Manifest because of you. I haven't finished it.
You did?
Yeah. And I'll actually have to start it back over because I got to like, I think partway through season 2 and then my show ADD kicked in and I started skipping around and didn't come back to it. But I really liked it.
It's good.
So I'm going to have to go back.
Finally get to figure out what the hell happened on that damn plane. Like, it's been years. All you want to know is like, what the hell happened? How did they come back 5 years later? I just need the answer. I need to know. Whoa. Ooh. That's that Doja Cat
I'm also
song.
excited about Never Have I Ever. That I love that show too.
Me too. I can't wait to finish it.
So good.
Finish strong.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're going to have a new segment. And I'm just introducing today. It is going to be called Blerd Out News. And in this segment, we're just going to give you some fire headlines on all the blerdy stuff that's going on.
All right,
so there's just some stuff that we just can't like throw everything in there. But there's just been a lot of things happening lately that we feel like we need to talk about. We need to give our blerd 2 cents, maybe 5 cents. I don't know. Maybe $1. I don't know. But I'm gonna start it, and next time we'll have we might not have this segment every time.
$1, $5, or $10.
I knew she was gonna do that. Benjamin. She was gonna do that. I was like, it's coming. It's coming. Anyway,
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh Lord, you need to stop. Anyway, so we're calling this segment Blerd Out News. Okay, so I'm going to have my sound effect going. All right. So we just want to give you some updates, guys, on different news things. So, news report. This one, it really favors me, actually. But for all those manga fans and anime fans, I just have a news report about one of my favorite ones. So Boruto, Whitney, I need to laugh. Boruto is officially released, because it's been on a hiatus for a long time, and everyone's like, when is it coming back? But it has been officially released. A new manga episode or chapter, I guess, has been released, and it definitely shows the time skip for everyone was speculating that it was going to go into the time skip or not. So they officially drew the time skip. And so we will be expecting that soon, because it's released in Japan. So I'm sure it will take some time for it to get out here in the US and the other wider world. And then the anime will update itself. So we never know where they're going to go with the anime, because they stopped and they were still like in the mangas, you can finish things a little bit differently. You know what I mean? But the anime have to go through the story well. So they might start somewhere and then get to the time skip. But that's out, okay? Second story. There is such a game called Naruto Monopoly and Naruto Clue. Guys, I went to the store. I was like, I went to Second and Charles. I saw it and I was like, I can't believe they have these. I was like, this is fire, and I can't wait. I can't decide which one to buy. I know that this is just an extra one. It's really my thing. I'm sorry, Whitney, but it exists. Naruto Monopoly. And then there's also Naruto Clue. I don't even know which one to buy. My sister says she wouldn't play the Naruto Clue with me. She's mean.
Aww.
Anyway, she would play the Naruto Monopoly. All right, second one. Third story, excuse me. Secret Invasion. So I don't know if you, like me, I've been watching the videos, and I really need to stop with certain things online, but Secret Invasion has not come out. It is dropping on June 21st.
Okay.
So maybe by the time you hear this, it will be out, because I've been seeing some video clips of people reviewing stuff and online, and I'm like, wait a minute. Secret Invasion hasn't dropped yet. Usually I can find things out because I watch late night TV, but since of the writer's strike, there's no people, coming out with their shows talking about it. That's how I found out about when everything's coming out, because I start seeing the actors on late night TV.
Gotcha.
But so Secret Invasion is not out yet. If you've been seeing stuff or seeing reviews, don't watch it. It's not out yet. It hasn't been dropped. It's not dropped till June 21st. Okay. Speaking of Marvel, a fourth story is Mr. Tenoch Huerta has now been accused of sexual harassment. Oh, God. And I was like, not another one, damn it. Not another good guy.
Why?
He released a statement on his Instagram condemning and saying how false this is. He was in a relationship with the person that has accused him, but he claims that the relationship ended. It was consensual, and it ended amicably, and it was a while ago, so I don't know why she came up with harassment charges now. I don't know. All I can say is men treat girls better, and girls stop lying, because I have no idea. I'm just kind of pained in my heart right now, because I'm like, we can't keep doing this. I can't keep having this. And I really hope his career doesn't, because I want more of Namor. I want more of Namor. Okay. Also, fourth story. So The Flash had their premiere, and Mr. Ezra Miller was there, even though he was, not gonna lie to you, he has felony burglary charges, assault charges. There's video footage of him choking out a lady in Iceland. Multiple things are against him, yet he was still allowed to go to premiere and promote his stuff. However, reviews have been coming out on the critics, and it have not been good. They have not been good. Like I was reading some articles today, multiple articles of how people are like, this is not going to save the DCEU. So I don't know. Like you said, the film is not out yet right now. It's supposed to be coming out on the 16th, tomorrow. On the 16th.
Well, not for you guys. When you guys hear this episode, it will be out.
But for us, it's not out. But I just not been hearing good things, guys. So the Flash trailer, it's great. But, you know, the Black Adam trailer was great, too. Yeah. And then the movie's trash.
But I'm pretty sure we're going to be reviewing it. Sometimes it's good to review stuff that's not good, just so you can, it's kind of hard. It's kind of easier to analyze things when it's like, not great.
I'm on the fence, Whitney. I'm on the fence. But I'll go into more detail after this last story. So our last story is a nice one. It's an update. So for all you Blerd girls, Blerd boys, guys, everything in the middle, BlerdCon is coming up in a few weeks. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. So it's going to be in Crystal City.
As usual, at
the Hyatt Hotel. It's from July 7th to the 9th this time. So it's going to feature a lot of people. The little black boy from They Are Among Us, is that what it's called?
Among Us? No, sorry. That's something different. That's a video game. The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. He's going to be there. Both of the yellow black Rangers. No, both of the black yellow Rangers are going to be there. And then the awesome Cree Summers, who has voiced all of our shows from the 90s. Everybody black, basically. And she was on A Different World, if you don't know what she looks like. So BlerdCon is coming up, and you guys know we're all about BlerdCon. So just letting you guys know that. And that has been Blerd Out News. All right. So you can now talk about any of the things I mentioned.
I'm so disappointed about the Tenoch Huerta thing.
And it's very surprising because the way he presents himself and I see him on TV and stuff, I'm just like, I'm not saying that anybody could project whatever, but he just doesn't seem like the type. Like he really doesn't. So I was just like, and he like immediately, once it came out and became a national story, he immediately posted a statement on his Instagram stories in English and Spanish, like vehemently denying and saying these things are false, that he's never harmed anybody. But the word is out still. I haven't gotten any more news about that. I'll update you guys later. But yeah, it's another one, you know, and we still don't know about Jonathan Majors too.
Not in the good, what's his name? DJ Khaled, another one.
Not in the good way. It's bad. I was very upset. But that I was surprised to see the bad reviews for The Flash, because I was like, maybe they did it right this time. But I mean, the critics' reviews, I've already seen it. They're like, no. It was more than one I was looking at. And they were like, no, this movie is not good. And I was like, are you serious?
How often do critics give comic book movies good reviews, though? Because I feel like a lot of the movies that I like, critics don't really give it a great score, but I'm like, that movie was awesome.
You're right. So it is up to you, but it's just like, I'm on the fence still. I'm not still sure I want to watch, just because that guy... Those cases, those charges he have on it, I'm like, felony, burglary, assault and abuse, video footage of him choking a lady in Iceland. And I'm like, why are you still on the street? Like, what's going on? Like, what? And apparently he's refuting it, not to mention the cult he started and the other weird things he's been doing. So I'm just like, you're not having an issue in your personal life. You need to either get help or you need to, you know, pay the consequences for things you have done. So, I mean, the fact that you just get to be at the premiere, but they're keeping him under wraps. They did allow him to come to the premiere, but that's it.
I thought they said that apparently he was getting help or something, which is why they hadn't completely.
Well, I don't know. I don't know all the story yet, but
I don't know either because I don't really follow.
I don't really follow him either. But I just so on the fence about this. Just because I'm like, no, you're doing really bad things. And I keep constantly hearing about it. And I'm like, why should you be, I don't know. But the film is not about him. It's about the story and other people are part of it. But I was like, you shouldn't be allowed to be coming to this. I don't know. I shouldn't judge him, but I just think it just doesn't have a good look to me. You know, and I don't want to support anything he's in.
I don't follow celebrity, any celebrity really. But if he has sought and gotten help, then somebody shouldn't be
Yeah, I agree.
Forever demonized for the thing if they legitimately.
That's why I'm
help.
On the fence.
Yeah,
that's why I'm on the fence too, because I'm like, I really don't mess with you, Ezra. But again, I do love the Flash.
It was another thing. To be honest, Ezra Miller was kind of on the same kind of level for me as like Tenoch Huerta and Jonathan Majors, because I really liked him prior to all this stuff. Like I really liked him in cool The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah, and I thought he did a good job at being creepy. The creepy
obelisks. I forgot. Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
And Where to Find Them. Yeah.
He was. I forgot his character's name, but he was very creepy.
I don't know either.
But he did a good job in that too. So.
But I did. I really liked him.
And he wasn't bad in Justice League. I just thought the film itself was bad. But he wasn't that bad. But I also I'm not gonna lie to you, I still don't really see him being Barry Allen. And I'm not saying because I'm partial to Grant Gustin, but I just don't really see it. I don't know if it was the best casting choice. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
But I had nothing wrong. I liked him actually. But when I heard he was doing it, I was like, I would not. I didn't see it working. And then watching the film, I felt like he was doing a good job acting, but it just wasn't. I wasn't buying it. And this was before all the nonsense came out. You know, Justice League was a while ago. But anyway, those are the news story, and I'm very excited about the Boruto, which means I should be expecting some shows very soon. Sorry, I know I kind of snuck my thing, but I wanted some anime news in there.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
If you know some anime or game news, we can bring it in next time we have a news segment.
Yeah, and that'll be at least, that might be the only thing we can watch until this writer strikes.
I know, you're right. There's a lot of stuff not coming out.
Foreign films is going to be the only thing.
Right, because I was like, wait a minute. The writer strike is going to stop a lot of the new shows from premiering this season if they don't like come to an agreement. And as a writer or a writer wannabe, you know, I definitely am supporting them. They do a lot.
Yeah.
Without them, you wouldn't have none of the stuff.
Get your shit together, Hollywood.
Pay them. I'm like, why should the studios get all the money? Like, pay them. It's ridiculous. It's just like teachers. When teachers go on strike, I support them because it's like they deserve more than they are getting.
Yeah,
and they do a lot more than
live. You know, have a like livable wage.
Right? They shouldn't have to be going getting side jobs or like using their money to buy stuff for school for kids.
Get your shit together, states.
Right. Amen. All right. So are we ready to get into the review? All right.
Jump in.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Jump
out.
How you know that's what I was thinking? I was going there.
Jump in. Jump out. Introduce yourself.
My name is Bola.
Hey.
And I'm a queen.
Hey.
Don't come at me.
Hey.
Or you can get my mean. I don't know what I'm saying. That did not come out right. I was trying to rhyme in there. I was trying to say, like, don't come at me or I'm going to get mean, and it didn't come out right. This is why I'm not a rapper. Anyway, Whitney, you want to try your own?
Oh, no, girl, no.
All right, so let's jump into Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. All right, so I was excited that this film got a second one.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of all speculated, but I guess it takes so long to make these films that I don't know why when it came out, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, that's supposed to have a sequel, you know? And then as soon as I heard it was out, I was like, oh, I'm about to go watch, and I did.
Yeah, same. I was just super excited because I think I've mentioned it before on an episode, but like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man movie. Even considering the live actions, like it's my favorite. Well, was.
Because
I'll just say that.
I mean, old school Tobey Maguire still got my heart, and I do love new Tom Holland. I like Andrew Garfield too.
To be honest, I think they were all good in their own ways.
The Spider-Mans have been amazing.
Yeah, like the actors, all great in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like movie wise, like Into the Spider-Verse was my favorite Spider-Man movie, even considering the live actions. It's been bumped down.
Can you give a reason why?
Because of this movie.
No, I mean, like, what was the reason why Into the Spider-Verse is the best to you?
Let me think. It's just like the animation is amazing.
Yeah.
And like the soundtrack, like anytime a movie has like a great soundtrack, it adds something. Like it really does add to it to have an awesome soundtrack. And like the moments, like I feel like it's almost the climax moment for Miles, where it's like it's a leap of faith, and he's like on the edge of the roof about to dive off. That song was perfect. The "What's Up, Danger," and then when he dives off, he's like, "Can't stop me now." I'm like, fire, like chills.
Right.
Like it was so good.
It's just so constructed. Like I don't even know if constructed is the right word. It's so crafted well. Like all the parts. I remember I watched. I was talking to Jane about this last night, and she sent me because she has like She says that she's kind of having a really major superhero fatigue, so she doesn't run to watch any of the Marvel stuff or anything anymore. Because she's like I'm kind of tired of superhero movies, and I was like, I understand you.
Yeah.
But the Spider-Man Spider-Verse is not one of them. So she really liked that one.
Yeah.
And then she was listening to. She sent me a video clip of these animators talking about the animation, and I was surprised because I was like, this is like very detailed, like very jargony for like animators. Like I was like, they were saying stuff that I did not understand, but I watched it.
Put it in the show notes.
I will, because the problem is the video is 10 minutes, but they don't only talk about Spider-Man the Spider-Verse. They talked about other things, but the Spider-Man the Spider-Verse part was also in there, and then they talked about why the film was so like. Why it was like a monumental feat. It blew their mind because of all the different things. Like they can add the verbiage for why this film is so incredible, about all the different things that were added, all the different types of animation that converged together. Things I didn't even know. I was like, for real?
I would nerd out so hard against that because, like, you guys, in case you didn't know, I went to VCU for kinetic imaging, which is like video, animation, and sound production, and my focus I wanted to focus on animation. So like, I would nerd out so hard about like how they did it, because I'm like, I look at these and I'm just like amazed. I'm like, these are like, some of these characters, they look like kind of 2D, but then they're like in these 3D worlds, and like, how did you mix them so seamlessly? It's like amazing.
That's the thing he was talking about, how they combine like so many different types of animation, painting styles, comic book style, and they don't. You honestly have to watch the clip because he can explain it in better terms than I can. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna put in the show notes, and I even watched another clip of theirs because they were talking about anime and then like why Avatar: The Last Airbender was so great. And what's so different about it, because it's a bit different from regular anime, like Japanese out of Japan anime.
Yeah.
But it's the animation style. But they were talking about it, the technical stuff, and I just like cool. I was like, I was like, oh wow, and I was like, yeah, because I love the animation style.
Yeah.
But you're right, that's the main, and that's one of my first impressions. I would have to say, like, this film, the animation just pulls you. It's like a feast for your eyes. And me, that is always drawn to color. Yeah. I was just watching, like, amazed. I was like, you just see the colors like splashing on my glasses. I was just like, oh, color, you know? And then the story was also amazing.
It's hard for me to put into words for Into the Spider-Verse. I would be able to do it.
I was talking about Across.
I can put it into words better for Across, actually. But story-wise, for Into the Spider-Verse, it's hard for me to explain.
Maybe an emotional pull was what it was.
It was. And I'm trying to think of, like, what the theme that made it. It was just like he was coming into his own, and it was like almost like a crisis of confidence type of thing, and him coming into all that. And then, like, the story with, like, you know, his dad and everything, his uncle, like the dad being at that emotional moment when his dad's at the door and he's like, you know, Peter B. Parker had already like webbed him up to the chair so he couldn't like say anything to his dad. He was just like pouring his heart out. And it's just like, that was such a emotional moment. And I just loved it all.
Yeah. But what about this film? The second one. What was your first impression? I gave mine. I was just like
fire.
And all.
I loved like the Gwen Stacy like intro.
That surprised me too, because I was like, where's the black boy? I was like watching it, I was like, why are we talking about her? But it made, as you watched the film, it made so much sense to go into her story. Like I was like, oh, I just loved it. But I'm not saying that I was missing Miles. I was, but
Gwen Stacy was also a very strong character in the first one.
You're right. But her opening, like the way they did it, was so striking. I thought it was bold and a nice choice and very interesting. And I was like, oh, yeah.
And I liked how the animation style of her universe is a little bit different than Miles. Right. I was like, it's just so interesting going to these different universes and these different art styles.
Right. You see that, and they change it up throughout each one.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Like the Lego one was in there. And you're like, this is like a Lego world, like right in the middle of this film.
Right.
It's fantastic and amazing and ingenious.
And I thought that was such a funny moment. It was like, oh yeah, we're having issues here. And then you hear like, what's his name? The one who's like the vampiric kind of Spider-Man.
Oh, I don't know.
Man, I should bring it up on IMDb. But he's like, thanks thanks, Peter, or Spider-Man, you're one of our best. It's like it's a Lego one. Yeah. It's like, you're one of our best.
Oh, man.
But
This
it's
film
just,
was so good.
And I love the way that they, like, the humor that they pull in.
Yes, they
is
put
like
fun
perfect.
at Spider-Man, too.
It's perfectly, like, they've got these emotional moments, and the humor does not at all take away from it. It's just like they perfectly balance the humor and the heart. It's just, to me, I think they do it perfectly.
Yeah. And it's hard to do.
Yeah, it is. I love, like, when the parents are talking, it's like, yeah, where are these friends that you're hanging out with? He was like, well, there was Peter. He left town. There's Gwanda. She left town. It's just like, he's like, and these friends they probably won't like them. They'll probably call us by our first names. And then when Gwen goes there, she's like, hey, Mr. I forgot what the dad's first name is. He was like, no, first it's the mom. She was like, oh, so you called me by my first name. Okay. It's just funny.
They had such great dialogue. I liked seeing more of the parents.
I did.
His mom and everything.
And that was great. The heart and everything. It's like, and then when he was like, whatever, and my eyes went wide when he said it. Like, as a person of color, when he said whatever to his parents, like, oh, that was a wrong move, dude.
Right. I was like, ooh, you about to get popped.
Yes.
It's not going to end well for you.
It is not Jeff. Jeff is the dad's name, and Rio is the mom's name. But it's just, I liked seeing the parents. They they featured more heavily in here.
Yeah.
And they were great characters. You see where he came from. And that's part of what I loved about this film. Like the theme, when Miles's mom let him go after Gwen to go hang out with her. And she's like, you got to promise me one thing. You got to come back, bring the cake, be on time. But she's like, don't let anybody make you feel like you don't belong. And that hit in a certain way. I think it also hits especially for people of color. Right. Because if I think about, like, my mom, that was something she always instilled with us. So it really hit with me because she was like, because this world is hard for, like, people of color. Right. So hearing those words, like, that resonated with me because that's, like, something that my mom instilled in us. Like, don't ever let somebody make you feel like you are less than them.
Exactly.
So I loved that about her. She was like, don't you let anybody feel like you don't belong. And I liked that, like, even though it wasn't his mom that he found at the end of the movie, he was like, and I beat them all. He was like, they didn't want me, but I beat them all. I was like, I love that. And you could see it came from that strong foundation of his parents. His mom saying, don't you let anybody make you feel like you're less than them or you don't belong. And I loved it.
Right. You said everything, honestly, Whitney. Like, I enjoy the passion from coming from you because you're putting into words it's just really, that's parts of stuff that I didn't even, like, clue on to because I was just watching it on the fly. Like, I decided to just watch it on the fly. But I was just so amazed and mesmerized. I don't know if I think colors really mesmerized me. But the story for this was just very, like, it was just so cool for them to find out. Like, one, I loved all the introduction of all the different types of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like, my favorite one is Issa Rae playing, like, pregnant Spider-Man.
Yeah,
pregnant Spider-Woman.
On the motorcycle. I'm just like...
And she was pregnant and kicking butt. I was like, come on. Like,
that was
my favorite.
Hilarious. Like, she was really, like, kicking ass in there.
Yes, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I also liked Peter B. Parker, now that he's got his daughter.
Yes, that was my second favorite.
Horrible parenting.
Oh,
come on, baby.
I have to put in, I love the Indian one. I don't know what his name was. Prabhat or something.
Yeah, Paviter Prabhakar, but it was just funny because it's like you can tell it's like Peter Parker, but like the Indian version of Peter Parker with the P.
I loved it. I loved that. And like you said, when they went to different worlds and the different Spider-Man, you saw the different influences. Spider-Man from India had a whole different suit. The Jessica, what was her name? Jessica Drew. Her outfit was totally different. Gwen's outfit was totally different. Everybody's outfit suited them. Even that emo one. Oh God, the one that was like kind of like the villain Spider-Man.
That was hilarious. He's like, I just have so many thoughts. He's
right.
Just like there against the pillar, like. What
and then like the British punk one that's like an anarchist.
Oh my God, I love him.
That was voiced by Daniel Kaluuya. Can you imagine?
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was his voice all day.
I loved that because like I loved him. I was like, Hobie,
Yeah, Hobie.
Yeah, Hobie. Mm-hmm. I loved Hobie because like once he
was
came,
like, I'm not about
and then
this.
when he took his like mask off, he was like, "How are you even cooler under the mask?"
Exactly.
He's like, "I was always this cool, bro." I loved it. I was like, "He is so cool."
Yes, all the different Spider-Man renditions that they had. I loved the little girl with the glowing hair. She wasn't little.
Oh
but
yeah,
she
Spider
was,
Bite.
Spider Bite. I liked her.
I liked her too.
And I liked that she tried to help.
I did too.
The one thing that I thought was interesting was that our guy Miles, ended up being an anomaly. That like threw me. And I was like, so what you trying to say? He's not Spider-Man? They're like, no, you weren't supposed to be. And then they all turned on him, and I was like, what the hell? Like, come on.
I understood why they were going after him because they're like, yeah, one person versus the entire universe. But it's like, dude, I understood why they were coming after him. But I'm just like, no, I agree with Miles. I was like, you don't know what's happening. This lady tells you don't know for sure. But I understand why they don't want to take that chance.
Right.
Because he's already, like, I understand, like, the, I guess the motivation behind Miguel O'Hara. I understood his motivation because he's like, I already did it. Like, I caused an entire world to implode. So I don't want to let this happen to any other world. So I understood it. So, and I also, I guess, maybe that's another reason why it was so good. You got, like, from the trailers, you think that it's, like, Miles against the rest of them, which it kind of was.
Yeah,
but it's like, they're not really the villains, exactly. They're antagonists.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's very complicated.
Miguel, he's a little nasty, though.
He was, but I understand why he is the way he is based off of, like, the backstory. So it's, like, I like that this person who's not really exactly a villain, he's like an antagonist, but I understand, I like his layers. Like, they showed you why he is the way he is. Like,
why
he
so
lost.
Serious?
Yeah. Why he's so
He lost his entire world. Is that what happened?
Well, it wasn't even his world. He went to somebody else's world and took over that Spider-Man's life when that Miguel O'Hara died. So, like, he was like, I know what the consequences are with interfering.
Why did he do that, though?
I guess because he liked the life that he had. He was like, he had a family. I guess he couldn't manage to, like, make that happen in his world. So he was like, there's this world where this guy who's, like, the alternate version of me is dead. So I'm just going to take over his life. I've got a wife. I've got a family. He's like, these are things he wanted. I want to be where the people are.
And the talent you have for that is unmatched.
That was his I want.
There's so much slappage in that. Unfathomable slappage in the way you do that. Okay.
But I like that. He was complicated. And he's like, and then you see that he's not really the person that you think from, like, the trailers is going to be the villain, which is Miguel O'Hara, is not actually. Because you see Spot at the near the very beginning of the movie.
That's another thing. Let's talk about the villain, because he's actually the real villain.
Right.
But you kind of didn't, like, he wasn't bad, but then you also kind of, like, I wasn't focusing on you, though. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But I guess maybe that was making him a good villain.
Misdirection.
Yeah,
he started out, he's such a trash villain.
And I was like, as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, that's Jason Schwartzman. I know that guy's voice anywhere.
Oh,
everywhere.
What else was, because I know the name, but I can't think of what else he was in.
He played the big boss in Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe.
Oh.
Him. Yeah. He was the big boss at the end that Scott had to fight.
I loved his character, though.
Yeah.
But
he's always like, he always brings some of his Jason Schwartzman-ness to a character. You're like, this is like you, though.
But I love
kind of like Ryan Reynolds does that too. He brings himself to his characters.
But I love the Spot as, like, how he became the villain, because at first he was like a joke.
Yeah.
And he's like all these, he doesn't know how to, like, use it. He's like messing up. He kicked his own butt.
Yeah,
into himself.
It was hilarious too. And you're just like, you're not a real villain.
And then at a
certain
certain point, you're like, he's like, I'm gonna make you. And then it's like the way it just turns sinister. I'm like, ooh. And that was like, oh, that's
he's
good.
He's like, I'm about to do some stuff.
Right.
And now he's like, now
you're gonna take me seriously.
You're gonna take me seriously. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
I liked his villain arc. I was like, he started out as a joke, but then he was like, nah, you gonna take me seriously.
Yeah, because in the beginning, that's who Spider-Man was fighting. I mean, Miles was fighting because then he missed, like, his parent-teacher conference for school. And you're just like, why aren't you in the classroom right now?
Speaking of, that's funny that you said Spider-Man, then you were like, Miles, because then that was like the same issue when they were at the Spider-Man, like the Spider headquarters. It's like, get Spider-Man. And everybody's like, you? Is it you? Is it you? And they did that
I was like, I knew they were going to bring that meme in again. Oh, man. But that was one interesting story. But again, I'm like, well, who's supposed to be Peter Parker in his world? Like, it didn't show us.
It did. You mean in Miles' world?
Miles is real, like Miles.
Yeah, that was in Into the Spider-Verse. Remember he died?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Sorry.
When he died fighting Kingpin.
Yeah, yes, that's right. That's right. But then why was it anyway? I have questions. I'll talk to her about it later. I just probably need to I should have rewatched the other one because it's been a couple years. But I really like this one. I felt bad for. I remember I saw one of these other Blerd girls who has a whole channel and stuff on Instagram, and she was just trashing. Apparently, she doesn't like Gwen. She was just trashing her so bad in the film. And I was like, what is your problem with her? I have to pull up her thing because she was like, I think her name was Francesca. Or Frank, but she was like not happy about Gwen in the film. She's like, and then she's going to come up to his house and be fake. And she had all these legitimate reasons.
She legitimately wasn't being fake. She wasn't even supposed to see him. She was coming to his house because she missed him so much and she didn't want to like come to his world and not see him.
I like Gwen. I understand her. And I like that in the end, she turned around. She's like, you know what? I'm not going to follow you guys. We're going to do something different. I loved her story arc where she and her father was looking for her so bad, didn't know it was her daughter, and then they like broke him a little bit because then he stopped like being a cop. And she just left. I was like, man.
I love that storyline too. And I didn't love what was happening, but like when she does take off her mask and he still is like reading her rights, I'm like, dude, really? Right. That was so heartbreaking, like watching that happen to her. And it's like, yeah, she's going to leave. She's like, I don't have anything left here. Like my father believes that I would murder someone, like murder my best friend. He doesn't believe in me, so I'm going to leave.
So her name is Fantastic Franckey, and that's with the K-E-Y at the end. And I like watching her stuff because she's like a huge, like, she's like strong, and she has a crap load of posts about the Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, excuse me. And she was just like, I don't like Gwen for these. And I was like, man, calm down. But I understood Gwen. I got where she was coming from. And then at the end of the day, she changed. She was like, I'm going to do what I need to do. Yeah. So I was always down with Gwen from the beginning.
I'm down with Gwen too. And like, it's another one of those things. Like, people are who they are because of the things that happened to them. She knew, like, she had experienced loss. Well, at that point, Miles had because he lost his uncle. But like, she knows what they have told her the consequences could be. So like, she's trying to walk this line. She's like, she cares about Miles, but she's like, I don't want this like catastrophe to happen either. And that's really hard. Like, if you think about it, like, how easy would it be for me to make that decision? Right. Because like,
right. It's very difficult.
That is a very difficult decision to make. Right. But then it's also like, thinking about it when they talked about like the, because it's funny, another thing on Google Trends is a canon event because of Across the Spider-Verse. And it's like, as I'm watching them, as I think about that in the movie, it's like, the captain dying is a canon event. And I'm like, so the world might split apart if the captain doesn't die. It's like, why is the whole universe based on Spider-Man though? Yeah. Like, that doesn't make some sense to me. Yeah. There's no one else who's skipping around universe to universe, effing stuff up. It's gonna trash.
Did mention, which I like that they had that transmedia thing going, but they did mention like Doctor Strange and
that little nerd, as he said.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow,
Earth 199999.
Right, and I was like, so they really are in canon with the rest of the MCU.
That's funny. And yeah, cool. I also thought it was funny when the Spot was first sticking his head into different universes, and he stuck his head into like Venom's universe, and the lady at the convenience store, she's just looking at him like bored, like, oh, so this is just a regular Tuesday for you.
Yeah, I know, right? It was hilarious. What are some of the... Do you have any cons at all? Because there's tons of brilliance, tons of, like, positive things.
I really cannot say.
I don't have a con. The only thing I was upset about was the end, because it threw me. I was expecting it to continue. I don't know. It's a pretty long film, but I was expecting it to, like... They got me with that ending. I was like, yo, it ended? We're not going to get... I was like, no, we're going to take care of this, right?
I would have been
thrown. It surprised me.
But I already knew that there was going to be a part 2, so it didn't throw me.
Is it a part 2 or is it just a third one?
Well, I think at first on like IMDb, it was just like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. But then now it's showing as Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
But it's like essentially a continuation because of the way it ended.
Right.
So it is, I would say, a Part 2 in the same way that like Two Towers is a Part 2.
Yeah.
To Lord of the
Rings.
Rings.
I totally get it, but I was like, you know how you're like excited because you're so into the story? Mm-hmm. I was like, I can't believe he ended up being in another world and there's another Miles who's like bad, who is the baddie, you know, basically.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, he went to the wrong place. And then you're just like, what's happening? What's going to happen? He's going to kill Miles, our Miles, you know, and then they're like, and then she's like gathering, you know, the Avengers of the Spider-Mans. You know, I'm just calling them the Avengers of Spider-Man.
I like that come together moment where you see all of them and you see like you see the what was it, Spider-Ham?
Yeah.
And was Penny in there too?
I think so.
Penny and of course Peter B. Parker.
And then the Indian one, and then
I like that the Indian one.
And I think
was there.
Bite went there too. Spider-Bite.
Spider-Bite. Oh yeah, that's right. Spider-Bite. I didn't see.
They broke off. I didn't see Jess.
Was Hobie there?
No. Hobie might have been there. Hobie might have been there, bro.
Because I liked that
about anybody.
Hobie made it possible because he left the thing there that let her travel to other universes. Mm-hmm. And I didn't notice this until I saw it the second time. I didn't get to watch it all the way through the second time because we took my nephews and Peanut was not. He was kind of scared, so I actually had to take him out of the theater. Across the Spider-Verse, yeah.
He's too old. I mean, he's too young for it.
Yeah, I mean, Eli
he was like, I'm watching this.
Yes, Eli was like, but yeah, I was sad that he got scared. But watching it the second time, I didn't notice the first time I watched it that as they're all going after Miles, that Hobie takes the thing off and says, "By the way, I quit."
Yeah,
I hadn't noticed that.
Oh, I saw that. That part, I was like, "Oh, he's a good one."
I guess I was so focused on them all running after him that I didn't hear. And I mean, I saw him stepping through the portal, but I didn't notice him saying, "I quit."
Right. But yeah, he was all for that. So I hope he comes back into the third one.
I do. I love. He was so cool.
He was very cool.
So cool. And I like how he's just like when Miguel's got him trapped in there, and Hobie's like mouthing to him. He's like and miming like the fingers versus the palm. Is like use the whole hand. Mm-hmm. He was like, yes, anarchy.
I know, it's crazy, but I just have to say that this was an all-around awesome film. It was just like bittersweet to me because I was like, I don't know if bittersweet's even the right word, but I was like happy but disappointed at the same time because I was like, it was out of eagerness. Because I was like, I want to see the next thing. Like, what is going to happen? And I was like, no, it's finished. I was like so mad. And then I stayed for the rest, and I was like, okay, there's going to be a third one. Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's cool. But then I was like, no, it's going to come out in like 3 years. And so that was my issue.
It was supposed to come out in like March of next year, but because of, I think they said because of that they hadn't started filming yet, and then because of the writer's strike, it's probably going to be delayed. But it was originally, at first IMDb was showing March 2024.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, this movie was just, they just built on, and I love when a sequel just builds, and it's like, it just enhances.
It does. You know? I felt like even like the emotional stakes were even higher here.
Right.
Which I think is what made it so great, even better.
And I like the overall theme of how Miles is like, when he found out that whole anomaly thing, that thing like could mess you up. Yeah. But he was like, I don't care. I'm taking things into my own. I'm making my decisions for myself. And I really love that theme. I really liked how that whole arc, because he could have been like, oh, well, I'm the anomaly. I should get kept. No, he was like, no, I'm not listening to y'all. I'm doing my thing.
Exactly.
He was like, I'm not going along with the Spider-Man group. I like that.
Attribute that yourself. Once again to his mom. His mom was like, no, don't you let anybody tell you that you don't belong.
We're going full circle, y'all. We're going back to the beginning.
We are. And I love that. Because I felt like without like a strong core like that, a strong foundation.
People can crumble.
Exactly.
And a lot of people do.
That's why having that support system is so important for kids. Like if you build that in them consistently from the time they're young, nobody's going to break them.
Yeah. And I really like that part, and I can't wait to see the next one. I mean, now we got the new. We got like. You know, the bad Miles.
G. Morales is what the IMDb says it's calling him.
Oh, man. I just thought it was crazy. I'm like, what are you going to do? Are you going to kill him? They'll kill Miles. I don't know. I'm just like, I have no idea what to think. But I'm excited for the next one.
I am super
excited. Are you ready for the review?
Yes.
All right. Whitney, you go first.
10 out of 10. I thought this thing was like perfect. I'm like, this movie was amazing. The emotional stakes were higher. The story, the thing with like bringing his family in just like brought that, it just like, it touched. And like I said, the thing with his mom, the thing with his dad, like it just brought it that much higher stakes. It is now. That's why Into the Spider-Verse is no longer my number one, but it's only because it got bumped down by the sequel. Yeah. It's now my number two because Across the Spider-Verse is my number one.
It's a fantastic
favorite
film.
Spider-Man movie. Considering all the live actions, animated, everything, it is my favorite.
I wouldn't go there because I really liked Far From Home.
No Way Home?
That one, No Way Home. Yeah, that one I really liked.
I did really like it, but I still say that these are my favorites.
Okay.
So No Way Home has gotten bumped down to third now for me.
I don't remember what I gave the first one, but this one I'm going to give a 9.5.
All right.
And not because of any issues. I'm just giving it a 9.5.
I got you, girl.
9 glasses and a monocle.
All right. So let's see. Let me do some math here. 9.5 divided by 2. All right. So that's a score of 9 glasses, a monocle, and a contact lens. 9.75 for our average.
Hey.
This movie is awesome. You guys should see it.
Yes, indeed. And so that is it. That's our episodes for this month of June. We will hit you back up in July. Hopefully see some of y'all at BlerdCon. You never know. We both be there.
Come see about me.
We are not doing a panel this year. That didn't work out well. I was really trying to work it out, but next time. But the theme is fae and fairy and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you like that kind of stuff, come on down. But then, of course, it's not the only thing.
Even if you don't like that kind of stuff, then come on down. That's just their they have a theme each year. Last year was Homecoming. Mm-hmm. This year is fae, but still gonna have all that blurry goodness.
All right. So again, come to BlerdCon. It's happening next month. Get your tickets, everybody. And then if you see us, we'll wear our shirts.
Giggity.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great one. And remember, always
Blerd Out.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other Blerds and non-Blerds, family and friends. And if you like this episode, please subscribe to our email newsletter at blerdtalkbw.ck.page and also rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts.
Intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, username Caption spelled Capshun. Show notes by Bola, Hanson, audio engineering by Whitney Booker.
And don't forget to get social, you guys. You can email us at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And our social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is at blerdtalkbw. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@BlerdTalkBW. And we've got our individual things going on too. You can find the Triple F Queen on Instagram at Triple F Queen B as in boy. And my YouTube channel is youtube.com/@Triple F Queen B.
And you can find me, Whitney, at Luminabi Studios, my company. And the email address is wit@luminabi.com, spelled WHIT, @LUMENABI.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at Luminabi Studios.